Shall we be seated, please, ladies and gentlemen? This COVID different. Okay, thank you. The Republican Vice President, Your Honor, Mrs. Inonge Mutukwawina, my presidential running mate, Professor Kanduluo, the chairman of the Patriotic Front, Mr. Ngunga Mukupa, Secretary General of the party, Mr. Davis Muiva, members of the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front, indeed, shall I say, all members of the Patriotic Front and my fellow cadres. You are the most important component of the party, cadres. You are the masters, you are the owners of this party. You make things happen. You are the masters. Indeed, invited guests, members of the press, including those from the social media fraternity, they are very important. Convey the truth, facts, yes. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We are here today to officially launch our campaign, and I'm delighted to see that indeed you are all fired up. Are you fired up? Are you fired up? I see that. I am fired up too. I must tell you from the start that our campaign is different from the rest because we are party in government. That fact in itself is good for us because we have worked and we are proud of our record and you can see what we have done. So we are merely going to show what we have done during our tenure of office. If they say, Sonta, Apawabunde, we shall proudly show them all the things we have done. So this task is not going to be very difficult because we have proof that we have been working and we are working. And what we have done is not a few things. We have done a lot of things across the country. From the north to the south, south to the north, west to east, we can show them. So I can assure you that this is the reason we are proudly asking the Zambian people to give us another term of office because we are a working government, a working political party. We have worked very hard and delivered in all sectors, and everyone can see that. Ladies and gentlemen, as we launch this campaign, I want to commit myself and my government to Christian values and thereby avoid dirty campaigns. That only serves to assassinate characters of individuals without substance. We have done lots of good things. We are doing more good things. And we need to talk about those things instead of talking about characters. Who is the most beautiful? Who is the most ugly? Who dresses well? That's not substance. People want to hear issues which affect their lives. Job creation. People want schools. People want health facilities. People want development. They're not interested in who is the most beautiful, who is the most elegant. They're not interested. So we have delivered visible development in all the 10 provinces of Zambia, and therefore there should be no reason for us to have a shortage of issues to discuss as we debate in the country. We have upheld values that we set for ourselves as a people in the PF. We have upheld the democratic tenets of good governance and inclusive development for all. You are aware of our record of respect for the rule of law and separation of powers. This has been the hallmark of my leadership, and this will continue. As PF, we continue to empower youth, women, differently abled and marginalized people. We have survived the effects of COVID-19. We have survived the effects of climate change. We have transformed the agricultural sector, and it's all there to be seen. We have ensured early distribution of farming inputs, and the bumper harvest is coming yet again. There is enough food for our people, and there is enough food for us to export to neighboring countries and beyond. So, what else? We have to talk about ourselves, what we have done, what we are doing, and what we continue doing for the Zambian people. My government has ensured jobs are protected in the mines. Yeah? Yes. We protect not only the jobs, but we ensure that there are good conditions of service in the industry. And we collaborate with the unions to ensure that jobs are secure. We have transformed the energy sector by building several hydropower stations to boost our electricity capacity. It's there for all to see. We have reduced road shading countrywide. As PF, we have transformed the country through unprecedented infrastructure development, which has seen the construction of new roads, expansion of existing roads, buildings, bridges, schools, universities, hospitals, houses, police houses, you name it, toll plazas, among many other things. So why should you be wasting time talking about who is who in the zoo, or who looks better than the other? Kubomba! It is under my leadership where we have laid out countrywide fiber for digital technology. We have digitized government business. We have installed communication towers countrywide. We have improved mobile technology and radio transmission across the country. We have moved from analog to digital television broadcasting technology. These are some of the things people feared to do in the past, but we have done it. We have transformed the public service broadcaster, ZNBC, through the installation of new studios. We have built broadcasting stations in Kawe, Chinsali, Kasama, Chipata, Mongu, and Mansa. Uletalikani nani? It is the PF government which has operationalized the Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA, who have in turn licensed 146 radio stations and 51 television stations. Takwali fiancé. Actually, boasting is free, it doesn't cost you anything. If you have worked, you should be able to saunter but not womba pana. Tapa. It costs nothing. What we have done is remarkable. especially when you consider that before we came into power, there were only 8 radio stations and 2 television stations, 2. And somebody says freedom of the press, somebody says no, the media space is diminishing. People say what they want to say on these television and radio stations, and we allow them. But if they break the law deals with them. So what is the problem? That's the rule of law. As PF, we have heard the cries of artists badly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we have assisted them through financial empowerment. We now even have a film policy in place, and our film industry is booming, and this is the envy of the region. You watch Mpali, Zuba, Naina with that once. Spoiler. So all these things have transformed lives. The artists now are well paid. They earn a living from art. Zambezi magic indeed. Our partnership in development and delivery of public service with chiefs, religious leaders, and civil society organizations is not only cordial and rich, but also encouraging and unprecedented in the history of this country, Zambia. They are agents of development. We have treated them as such. Vashima Pepo, religious leaders, this is what makes us confident to ask Zambians for another term in office, because we don't get tired of serving Zambian people. We never get tired at all. As PF, we have brought to this country real change. While others are dreaming of bringing change, PF has worked very hard and delivered visible transformation everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, inclusiveness is the hallmark of the Patriotic Front Party. That is why the disabled and other marginalized people in society have even been adopted to contest seats, including parliamentary seats. Among our candidates, we have all types of Zambians, inclusive of those who are not sighted, those who are physically. And I think we are the only party in the election which has demonstrated true commitment to inclusive government. And this is why we're not leaving anyone behind, and this is why we're making every Zambian count, and this is why PF matters. I heard of a candidate somewhere who is saying you can't vote for the blind. And I'm going to Chasef, where we have featured a blind man to campaign. A candidate who is aspiring to go to parliament offended me this morning when I heard that he was remarking that we cannot vote for a blind person. We are going to vote for that blind person in Chasef, and I'm going there personally to campaign. Here is a man with 4 degrees lecturing in the University of Zambia, and you say you can't vote for him because he's blind. Come on, man. We are going to use him to inspire others. We are going to use him to show that we are inclusive. We are going to use him to show that we care for other people. We are not going to leave anyone behind. That little boy in Isioma, that little girl in Kaputa should be inspired and hope that she or he can make it also to the top and eventually become president like myself. That university education is not just for a few, but for all of us. We have allowed the private sector to open quality universities. Under her watch, we did very well. Under her watch, we did very well. And we continue doing so. As PF, we have opened new public universities and upgraded colleges into universities and given scholarships to not only loser, like Mr. Mwanza said, and CBU, but even students in other new universities. Inclusiveness indeed. We have introduced a new health scheme called the National Health Insurance Management Authority, or NHIMA, whose purpose is to contribute to the attainment of universal health coverage. Through NHIMA, our people are already benefiting as they are receiving quality health services. This NHIMA is a game changer. It has removed the burden of health costs among our people. We have mitigated the spread of COVID-19, and all this is through a robust sensitization campaign and a consummate treatment regime. More importantly, we have rolled out free vaccination for COVID. How many of you have taken your COVID vaccines? It's voluntary, but it's important that you exercise your caution. Because some people think we're here to kill people. If we say take it, they say, no, he wants to eliminate Zambians. No. Think twice. We want you alive. All the things we are doing, Zambian people, for the good of our people, because this government I lead cares for Zambians. And one of the things you need to know is that we are not afraid of taking measures which may be unpopular, but for the good of the Zambian people. We are not afraid at all. We are taking measures which at times have been criticized, but because we believe in what we believe in, the good of the Zambian people, we have implemented these. And several times, the same people who criticize us are the ones who come and say, "Apapena mwalimu mbagwino hapa." At the end of the day. So we have a saying that countrymen and women, going forward, the Patriotic Front has developed the 2021-2026 manifesto, whose theme is making every Zambian count. Continuity for a prosperous, peaceful, stable, and all-inclusive Zambia. This manifesto is a new covenant we have with the Zambian people, and working with the incoming PF team within the party at parliament and local government level, I am confident that we shall yet again deliver for the Zambian people. The focus of the manifesto is the economy. The economy. Yes, the economy has been badly hit by many factors, more so the COVID-19 pandemic. But I'm confident, extremely confident, that once we implement the set goals in our manifesto, the Zambian economy will rebound. Some of the goals include reserving for Zambians specific businesses, such as timber logging, mining of gold, manganese, precious and semi-precious minerals, trading in live chickens at markets, quarrying, block making, commercial cleaning, salons, I mean hair salons. If you could Why should foreigners be doing that when we can do it ourselves? Barber shops, domestic haulage, and local road transportation. It includes compelling foreign-owned supermarkets to stock local products, such as vegetables, fruits, chickens, pork, fish, and beef. Our manifesto has 27 pillars. And as I go around campaigning the country, I will speak to these promises. My job today is simply to officiate and launch the campaign. So for you who will be going to campaign, carry the manifesto with you. Tell the people what we have done, what we are doing, and what we are promising to do. Don't talk about yourself. I'll bring a bridge. How can you bring a bridge? You're just an individual. I want to make it very clear. Talk about yourselves. I like giving examples, but they're not very good examples. I know that the Vice President will be offended. But you see, if you're dating a girl, you don't talk about your rival, talk about yourself. Yo, namu mwana ba GBM kuina na vena sana. Talk about yourself. Tell them I'm Edgar Lungu and I think you look good. You know, don't talk about your things. Don't worry about those who have stood. Whether there are 9 other candidates, you be the best candidate. You talk about your party, what it has to offer the Zambian people, what it will do for the little child, that little girl and boy, what it will do for that farmer. That's what you'll be talking about. And you draw parallels from what we have done in the past. So you don't waste time. Don't waste time. There can be 9, 10 other people competing, but ignore them, talk about yourself. Please, the manifesto should be your talking point. Countrymen and women, I'm also here to announce that the Patriotic Front party will not be holding those famous public rallies owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's painful, I know, because you like going out there to dance and sing and so on, but we cannot defy the rules of those who are guiding our health sector. We shall follow the official guidelines so that we protect our citizens. We want votes from them, and they are the people we want to save. Therefore, we cannot go and kill them with COVID. Who will vote for us? So we have come up with an effective and efficient COVID-19 compliant campaign strategy. You have your fun, yes. You will spread the message and so on. We will ensure we deliver our objectives without abrogating the public health guidelines. As President of this country, I promise not to abrogate the COVID-19 health regulations and guidelines, but I also expect my opponents to show responsibility and avoid public rallies which have been found to be super spreaders of COVID by health experts. The situation, colleagues, in India, of escalated numbers of COVID-19 cases and loss of lives has been reported and attributed to political rallies which were taking place there. And we must surely learn from that. As a president, of course, I will not allow myself, or indeed others, to risk lives of our people at the expedience of politics. Therefore, in my capacity as head of state and government, I hereby direct the police and the Ministry of Health to ensure enforcement of the COVID-19 public health regulations. Please do this without fear or favor. Your job is to protect lives. Already, you can see that there is a rise in the number of COVID-19 cases, and it is irresponsibility of the highest order if we, as political leaders, invite multitudes and multitudes of people to super spreader events, such as what we witnessed last week during some of my colleagues' filing of nominations at this very place. I hope that that is the last time that we shall see such irresponsibility. Countrymen and women, our Lord Jesus Christ posed a good question in Mark chapter 8, verse 36. He posed a good question. He said, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the world and lose his own soul?" I therefore pose a similar question to politicians contesting in this election. What will it benefit you guys to be holding rallies and then sacrifice the lives of our citizens and voters to COVID-19 and death? What will it benefit you? Who will vote for you? If you're unlucky, you could be the one caught by COVID-19. So be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, I now want to announce names of provincial and national presidential campaign coordinators. I expect these men and women to be hardworking patriots who work night and day to steer us up to victory and close partnerships with our structures. In the national campaign team, we've got two teams, Team A and Team B. In campaign Team A, Mr. Ngongam Kupa, the National Presidential Campaign Manager. And there is Team B. Team B will be the Vice Presidential Campaign Team, which will be headed by Given Lubinda. The National Campaign Team B will comprise Her Honor the Vice President, Mrs. Inonge Mutukawina, and the presidential running mate, Professor Nkanduluo, and the Honorable Jean Kapata. And the provincial presidential campaign coordinators will start with Eastern Province, Mr. Vincent Mwale. He will be assisted by Honorable Dr. Charles Banda. Northern Province, I know, even as I speak to you, you will not accept everything. The diversity of opinion is part of our essence of living. The other day I was introducing my running mate and I said, I know not all of you agree with me, but run with us. You see, in life, don't expect unanimity. You're not dealing with robots, you're dealing with human beings. So there are sentiments, yes. Probably you differed elsewhere, but forget about the past. Let's run with the campaigns. And if you are to learn a thing from me, I live behind yesterday, I live for today and move on. So if you choose to tackle me on 2015 politics, who differed with who, you won't be part of my team. Forget, let's move. If you are not adopted, you may be adopted in 2021. That's how life goes on and so on. And besides, I also have nominations to make to Parliament. Who knows? Depends on how you perform, I can nominate you to Parliament. So if you're going to misbehave, if you're going to misbehave, so prove yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, that you are worthy leadership. You know, it's important that we work as a team, and there is room for all of us. Northern Province, Presidential Campaign Coordinator will be Mr. Geoffrey Waliamanda. He will be assisted by the former Minister of Finance, Waliangandu. Central Province Campaign Coordinator, Dr. Justin Mulando. Ambassador Elijah Chisanga will deputize. Muchinga Province, Presidential Coordinator will be Mwimba Marama. And Honorable Mwimba Marama, can you lay off Mpika now, focus on Mchinga? And I know that you wanted to manage elections in Mchinga, in Mpika, but I will send Chileshe, my dear lady, Catherine Chileshe, will manage the campaigns in Mpika so that Honorable Mwimba Marama takes charge of the entire province and coordinates for the president. The vice presidential coordinator will be one Malozo Sichone. In Wapula province, the presidential campaign coordinator is no other than Dr. Katele Kalumba. Yes, Kaka will be assisted by one Right Mwitwa. Government Province, Presidential Campaign Coordinator, Honorable Frank Ngambi. He will be assisted by one prominent son of the Copper Belt, Mbachi Kwazi. Lusaka Province, Presidential Campaign Coordinator, Mr. Davis Chama. He will be assisted by one Mumbi Piri. Southern Province, campaign coordinator for the presidential vote will be Mr. Siacheye Majien Kuku, who will be assisted by Mr. Kebi Mbewe. Western Province, presidential campaign coordinator is one very powerful lady, retired Captain Liambela. She will be assisted by my, this gentleman, I call him a general, but he's not in the army. General Kajira Peter. Northwestern Province, The presidential campaign coordinator will be Honorable Kavinga Pande. He will be assisted by this powerful lady, Miss Kutemba Konga. While the provincial executive committees shall be fully responsible for planning, organizing, coordinating, and executing day-to-day campaign activities, I have appointed the named people within the mandate of monitoring, overseeing, and recommending campaign activities in their respective regions outside the party structure in order to complement the party's functionaries. I think GBM and Walenga and Lokasama very well. They know the province very well. They will tell us where we can get the votes. Similarly, Vincent Mwale and Charles Banda will be able to tell us how we can go around and so on and so forth. So, I am very proud to announce today that our parliamentary candidates filed nominations in the 156 constituencies successfully, completely. And we are good to go. Similarly, let me also congratulate some of our local government candidates, councillors, who have already won. Their seats are opposed. They're only awaiting for the 12th August 2021 to officially take their offices. And I think this shows that we are organized. This is a clear sign that it is only the PF who are ready for these elections countrywide. It's evident. Trust me, the electoral success we have recorded this month at nomination stage is the same one we shall finish with after 12th August 2021. You can tell the clouds are forming. You can tell that it's going to rain, isn't it? So we'll prepare, get an umbrella and so on. So in 2010, we sang and danced. Don't Kubeba, you remember? Yeah, I said. In 2015 and 2016, we campaigned under Dununa Reverse. Yeah, Dununa Reverse, yeah? This year, may I announce that the theme song for this campaign is and I was trying to find out the genesis of this song, by our party women choir. I traced this song. I traced this song to some place, some obscure place in Ruapula. But it's like wildfire, it's caught on everyone. Even in Senga, we saw with a repo. So and I've got about 50 CDs. I haven't played all of them. The songs are labeled up in different versions and varieties and so on. Labeled up. So thank you so much for that song, guys. Your maps, Mark Chu and Mampi. Your rendition of Labeled Up is super. So Labeled Up, that's our same song. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I wish to thank the team I have worked with in government, as well as the party. Most of all, I'd like to thank the Republican Vice President, Mrs. Mulungushi. Madam, I wish to thank you for your wisdom, for your counsel, and resilience. Indeed, you have worked tirelessly. You have worked tirelessly to serve our people. Thank you, Madam. The Vice President has promised that she will continue advising our leadership. And indeed, I want to assure you that I will continue seeking your counsel. I'm also equally elated that, Madam, you are counseling my running mate and orienting her, Professor Nkanduluo. I'm very confident she will equally make a great Vice President. I'm not ashamed to say Professor Luo is a tenacious, candid, and courageous intellectual. She brings public service experience and quality to our campaign. We are proud of you, ma'am. I therefore call upon all colleagues in the party, our supporters, to rally behind the winning ticket, PF ticket, our ticket. I would also like to thank all party structures for supporting me, and I'm confident you will again support me, support the professor, and all our candidates on this journey to victory come 2021, 12th August. Lastly, I would like to thank all the Zambian people for your support, and I'm hopeful that based on what we have done so far as a party in government, as I have alluded to briefly, you will give me and my running mate and the PF team another term. Countrymen and women, it is now my singular honor and privilege to officially launch the Patriotic Front 2021 General Election Campaign. May the Almighty God guide and protect us during the campaigns. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Vale,